If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right and still feel empty inside, don't scroll. This story might be the one that finally hits home. In a small mountain town in Colorado, tucked between the Rockies and long winding pine roads, lived a young man named Ethan Miller. Around town, Ethan was known as that guy. The guy who always said, "I got it," even before anyone finished asking for help. Car breaks down. Ethan's there. Neighborhood project. Ethan's first in line. Everybody admired him because he was brave, hardworking, and never backed away from challenges. But what nobody knew, what nobody even guessed, was that behind Ethan's confident smile lived a heavy, silent emptiness he carried everywhere. Even though he had done everything right, even though people praised him non-stop, Ethan felt like something inside his life was missing. Something he couldn't name. Something that kept him awake at night staring at the ceiling thinking, "Why do I feel this way?" Every success he had only filled him for a moment. Then the emptiness returned, stronger each time. Tired of feeling lost, Ethan remembered stories from locals about a wise old man named Mr. Dawson, who lived in a small wooden cabin near the edge of Pike National Forest. People said talking to him felt like talking to someone who knew your soul better than you did. So one cold morning, Ethan drove down the dusty Colorado road, parked near the tree line, and walked to Mr. Dawson's quiet cabin. The old man sat on a rocking chair, warm coffee in hand, looking like he'd seen every kind of pain life could offer. Ethan swallowed hard and finally said, "Sir, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, but I still don't feel satisfied. Can you please tell me how to find real happiness?" Mr. Dawson nodded slowly and said, "I'll help you, son, but first you got to do something for me." He pointed to an old metal bucket sitting beside the porch. It had rust, dents, and cracks running through the sides. "For 1 week," he said, "take this cracked bucket, walk to the river every day, fill it with water, and pour it into my backyard well." Ethan thought it was weird, but he didn't argue. And here's where things take a turn, the part nobody expects. Ethan started the task the next morning. The sun beat down on him as he walked half a mile to the river, filled the bucket, and carried it back. But by the time he got to the well, almost all the water had leaked out through the cracks. Day after day, same thing. The more he tried, the more it leaked. Ethan felt stupid, frustrated, like he was wasting his time. Why would a wise man ask him to do something so pointless? But he didn't quit. Something inside him said to finish the week. On the 7th day, sweaty, exhausted, and feeling like a complete failure, Ethan returned to Mr. Dawson with the nearly empty bucket and said, "Sir, I'm sorry. I tried, but I couldn't fill the well. I messed up." But instead of being disappointed, Mr. Dawson smiled like he knew this moment would come. "You didn't fail, Ethan. You did exactly what I needed you to do. Now, turn around." Ethan turned and froze. The once dry, dusty path he had walked all week was now covered in bright green grass, wild mountain flowers, and soft patches of life. It looked completely different, like the whole road had been reborn. "How is this possible?" Ethan whispered. Mr. Dawson stepped beside him and said, "The water that leaked from the bucket brought life to the path. You thought your effort was pointless, but every step you took was helping something grow." Then he added the words Ethan would remember forever. "We're all cracked buckets, son. We all leak. We all mess up. But that doesn't mean your walk in life is meaningless. Happiness doesn't come from filling some imaginary well. It comes from realizing the journey itself is creating beauty, even in ways you can't see." And here's the part you probably need to hear today. Ethan drove home through the Colorado mountains with a completely different heart. Nothing around him had changed, but he had. He finally understood that perfection wasn't the goal, and his cracks weren't failures. They were exactly how he was meant to water the world. So if you've been feeling empty, flawed, or like you're not doing enough, listen closely. You might be helping someone grow in ways you don't even realize. Your impact may already be blooming behind you, and your flaws, they might be the very thing bringing life to your path. And if this story hit you even a little, tap the like button so more people can hear this. Subscribe for more stories like this, and send this to someone who might need a little